Are the malls dying, or are they the last great chance for brick and mortar retail? And in this video, I'm going to tell you why I think it's the latter. I'm Dennis Barger, 4-year veteran of being here in the Mall of Monroe. And it all started for me 4 years ago. On my 50th birthday, I wanted to have a place where I could invite all my friends, and then we'd all go see Spider-Man. As we were here, my kids were talking about, hey, can we go to the arcade? And I'm like, I thought the mall was dead. There's an arcade here? And they're like, yeah. So the kids go over to the arcade. We finished up with the food, and we started walking through the mall. And as I was walking through the mall, and like I said, I thought the mall was dead. I started seeing businesses in that mall that couldn't be paying what in my brain was mall rent. I've always considered malls to be this expensive place where only the highest level of retail can take place. Well, I'm telling you, after that weekend, I decided to call the mall, and I wanted to find out, am I wrong? Is it still like expensive rent? And they said, hey, let's go meet and we could talk. And so I told them what I was interested in, and they were like, hey, I got this spot over here, and it's going to be open in about a month. And we started throwing numbers back and forth, and I'm like, wait a second, this number seems really low. And I'm looking at the store that was in that location, and I'm like, they can't be paying that much to have this little stuff in here. So I said, hey, they threw the number out at me. I'm not going to tell you that number. But they threw a number out at me, and I was like, that's almost negligible for me not to try this new business model. And there were still people in the mall. Luckily, this movie theater in this mall is still thriving. It's an independent-run theater, and they still pack them in every weekend for a good movie. So as I was kind of doing my demographical research, I'm like, wow, I think this could work. So we opened up in April of 2022. I was blown away by the first week sales. I was blown away by how many people were actually coming into the mall. In between every movie theater, after you get your bucket of popcorn, you have a 30-minute wait to go see your movie, you got a place to shop, and they came in. This is our first location, Wonderworld Comics. It just basically was the comic book store model that I wanted to try with no new comics, just a nostalgia flair. I could tell you within the first 6 months, I was ready to try to prove another experiment. I said, if I can do this with comic books and toys and games, can I do it with other nostalgia properties? Well, video games, vinyl records, anime, manga, it all seemed to work. So there's only one other thing I could prove, and that was to prove this business model at scale. Can I do this somewhere else? Luckily for me, the malls that are left, they're actually really smart. The mall managers at one location will go to other malls and try to headhunt other stores to come to their mall. As luck have it, I got contacted in 2024 by the Franklin Park Mall in Toledo, south of here. And they said, hey, would you like to move one of your stores down to here? And I'm like, well, I can do better than that. I can open a third store. Well, they love the idea. And I love the concept of trying to prove my business model. And so we took 3 of our best SKUs from Disctopia and 3 of our best SKUs from Wonderworld, and we put them under one roof in Franklin Park. And Franklin Park is a pretty full-packed mall. It's what I would call a real mall. They have an Apple store. They have a Foot Locker. They have a Victoria's Secrets. These are real mall places, and I didn't know if it would actually work or not. I was trying to question whether or not, am I successful here because there's no competition? Can I be successful in a place where there's actually competition? I got proven right again. It did 2x what either of my stores here in Monroe did. So now all of a sudden I said, Well, I kind of proved all of that, and I can't get a good cup of coffee in this mall, so I decided to take on opening a coffee and bubble tea shop here in this mall. If you look, we're right over here by the movie theater, the Phoenix Theater. Like I said, it's an independently run movie theater. And the place is packed all the time. So I don't know what the formula is. I'm still trying to figure out that formula. You've got to have a good movie theater that brings in kids. And if you look, you'll see millennials walking around all through this mall. But it also brings back the Gen Zs, the parents of the millennials. Because we remember when this mall was thriving. This is where we met their parents. This is where we had our hangouts at the arcade, which we still have in this mall. Then you get the boomers, the parents of the Gen X's and the grandparents of the Gen Z. And I could tell you, they remember when this mall was built. And we get 3 generations of shoppers regularly. A grandfather, a father, and a grandson all come in together, and they remember all the nostalgia that we're selling. I don't know what the formula is, but I can tell you it works. It works for me. And if it can work for me, I know there's other genres that this business model could work for. And thankfully, these malls are very willing to work with you on rent. And I think that's the flexibility that's needed to kind of resurrect these malls. So if you have a business model that still sells to Gen Z and still has customers that's Gen X, this is the business model that I think you can succeed at. Guys, I'm telling you, the traffic is still here in this mall and the Franklin Park Mall in Toledo. If the traffic is there and the demographics are right, there is still opportunity to brick and mortar stores populate these malls again and get them back up to the social hubs that they used to be. I can tell when I pull in to this parking lot on a Thursday or a Friday or a Saturday, if this movie theater parking lot is full, my store is going to have a great day of business. And if I'm having a great day of business, the economy keeps moving. We see customers of all ages, all races, genders, you name it, everybody loves going to the movie theater. And when they go to the movie theater, they're already spending so much money for the movie. Coming over to my nostalgia stores, they're going to spend a little bit more. It's all about the movie theater in these malls. If the movie theater is a great theater and the mall is attached to it, the Gen Z, the Gen X, the boomers, they'll all come out to see a good movie. I'm Dennis Barger, celebrating the past and thinking about the future.